on a brisk morning, having just finished out watching Simon Dan's what he called one of the most important analysis videos of the flat earth that he's ever put out. And to summarize that one in particular, he said, or at least what I took away from it, it's not about the shape of the earth. That's not really what drove the movement so much as the sense of community with folks that are like-minded and being a part of something, being part of a club. Even if that club is a bunch of bullies that, don't allow members to escape the club. Sorry. That's really what the point is showing fealty to other members of your club, the organization, the society. That's really what Flat Earth is about. It's what a lot of these movements are about. It's about belonging and membership. Well, I wanted to add to that my notes and thoughts. Finally put this out on video for what I think is the biggest paradox in the whole sphere of Flat Earth. And that is a theological paradox. That everyone can be divided. So we'll start off, use one of the core Flat Earth tenets, that is firmament, dome, however you want to pronounce it. The dome is supposed to contain us like a snow globe, because it says that in Genesis, and Genesis must be taken literally in this club. So in this paradigm, the logical paradox is that, so there are two types of people. There's everyone with no direct knowledge, no empirical evidence of location, height, material of this dome. And they're broken into those that believe it exists and those that don't believe it exists. And then there's another group of people not in that pie chart altogether. There is no overlap with those people and this other piece of the Venn diagram. So it's not a Venn diagram, they're separate, that have touched the dome, fired missiles at the dome, know it's there, know its altitude, know its material or makeup or how resilient it is, or some facts and features about it. They have those. And on a one-for-one basis, none of those, under supervisor theory, none of them have been a whistleblower, none of them have come to Jesus, none of them have decided that, yeah, no, prophet is not for me. I know now. I have knowledge that Genesis is literal, Earth is 6,000 years old. I have knowledge now that we're in a snow globe, and God is literally right there. I've been there, I've seen, I touched the dome, I looked on the other side, and God is right there, digging an 8th level of hell just for the people who go Masonic Satanist and hide it all from humanity. And I've decided that 8th level of hell is for me. Theological paradox. It's like the tree of knowledge, this dumb. You take someone who's gone, like, not to pick on Jaron right now, but they're calling you a shill now for NASA, a Masonite NASA satanic shill, a demon, because you went your whole life believing that something exists, which would prove a literal Genesis, and you get there and you have the tangible, you've touched it, touched the actual proof of a literal Genesis, and immediately say, yeah, what's in it for me? Yeah, I mean, there's a God right there digging an 8th level of hell. You can see him through the dome. He's right there. I see the dome, and I got the proof, the actual proof, not what in the Flat Earth fan fiction, fictional dictionary of fictional terms, but actual literal proof. You've touched it. The nuclear scientist or the Air Force officer who fires the missile, Elon Musk who fires the space rocket that skids across the dome, which is a hypersonic wake, but skids across the dome to prove to people that there's a space and not a dome. So you show them by throwing missiles at it, because reasons, obviously. So that's a logical paradox. In the Flat Earth theological paradox, the dome is like this tree of knowledge, right? You touch it, you immediately say, I'm aware. I am now aware that there is a good and an evil, and I choose evil with no exceptions. Everyone with knowledge of good and evil, not belief. Because remember, everybody who believes one way or another, I have never seen nor touched the dumb, and I believe it doesn't exist, or I've never seen or touched the dumb. That's the flat earthers, right? They've never seen or touched it, but they do know, believe it exists. I'm not gonna say no. Knowledge is, I'm qualifying knowledge in this conversation as direct empirical, personal knowledge. Touched the dumb, did an experiment, fired a missile at it, bounced off. Me, personally, did that. Have that knowledge. Without exception, they all say, what's in it for me? Yeah, I gotta see a check from NASA now. I've seen what I'm supposed to better start paying me, bro. Even Witsit, right, gets this criticism. It's like, he's a shill now. He didn't deny the 24-hour sun by going down to Antarctica. He clearly saw the dumb and then said, what's in it for me, bro? Yo, I just came down here for a check, bro. All the while, having direct knowledge, firsthand knowledge, tangible, tactile, touch the dumb level knowledge that literal Genesis is literal and says, yeah, hell's for me. Totally into this whole hell idea. Went my whole life proclaiming my belief that there was a firmament. Now that I see it, turncoat and hell. That's a theological paradox. Brother Sanchez recently in a debate with, I think it was FTFE, re-brought up supervisor theory where, 5% of humanity, which would be 400 million people. So 7.5 billion people have belief either is or isn't real because no evidence. And flat earthers tend to believe things that are real with no evidence. And then there's people with actual knowledge. And they all choose hell. Actual knowledge that there's a very angry God on the other side of the actual firmament they actually touched. And with no exceptions, they all go Masonic, they all go Satanic, they all say, hell is for me. So this theological paradox is very important because it allows for other theological paradoxes. They're wanting to be become, and this is what I'm tying into the Simon Dan video and in his analysis, is wanting to be a part of this cult and worshiping these flat earth messiahs who are dicks on TikTok. Just start making noise so nobody can have a conversation or a point. They're not even going la la la, they're just shouting down anyone with any scientific discussion, debate, evidence. Every time it even comes up is ballsy about. And it's viral, not internet viral, but the thinking is viral, is a disease, and it's spread not just from the Discord servers, it's on TikTok, and there are various YouTube channels that do it as well. Anyone that wants to live in this paradox of, well, yeah, it's anybody who gains the knowledge of a literal Genesis immediately chooses hell. I mean, that's really why they probably wanted to blow up the fishbowl, is instead of telling everyone that there's a dumb so that we all may go to heaven, they wanted to blow it up so that the evidence will pour it out upon the earth and we all go to hell together because now we all have the knowledge. Even in the flat earth fiction, this paradox must be true. The flat earth paradigm has this paradox. Reality doesn't. It's frankly just too stupid for me. I maintain I'm part of the 750 million people on Earth, 7.5 billion people on Earth, that I'm part of that pie chart that has no evidence for the dumb, no location, no altitude, no measurements, no evidence whatsoever, and it doesn't exist. I'm part of that group. So I'm not picking on belief, because the people who went to the moon, they lived in a time which America was still largely Christian. People who walked on the moon may have actually been devout Christians. So you can have the belief that we can get past the fake, non-existent, paradoxical firmament and still arrive at the moon and come home and say, thank you, Lord, for protecting my life and my family. So defense of that paradox makes people very angry. Ballsy mouth. I'm a royal dick on the internet, muting and booting and shouting, and that is the way to salvation. that, I think, is one of the most important paradoxes, and so that's how I'm tying it back to Simon and Dan's video on it's about fealty to the cult. That's really what the flat earth is about. And the like-minded people are the other people who don't have an ability to actually be good, nice people. They're not the faithful that are just like, well, even though I don't have any evidence of a dumb or a flat earth, I still kind of like this idea of an afterlife because I really love my grandma. She was a sweet religious lady. I just want to see her again. That's belief. Keep it. Do you, man. It exists. There's no flat earth. There's no dumb. There's no evidence for a dumb. There's no reason to believe in a dumb. It's dumb. The real paradox in real life is the after effects of holding on to that first one. And that is that the flat earthers are royal dicks because they think that if I could just get enough people to believe in the stupidity of the first paradox, the second one, where me being a dick gets me into heaven, becomes true too. And that's why, in their minds, sending out death threats and stuff to MC Toon is that they're doing God's work in their mind. And I don't want to pick on people of faith at all by saying that. I don't hold that any of these paradoxes are true. They're all dumb. They're not only illogical, they're also only logical in the paradigm where Earth is flat and there's a dumb with people hiding it, knowing that it exists, knowing that Genesis is literal, knowing that they're going to hell. Because reasons. So there it is. Debate. Cheers.